Alex Eala is world number 18. She is the first Filipino WTA singles champion in history. She is 21 years old. She has won matches this year against Zheng Qinwen, Elena Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula, four of the best players on the planet. And she has done it on the biggest courts, in the biggest moments, in front of crowds that wave Philippine flags and chant her name in cities that had no idea who she was 12 months ago. She started this year ranked 53 in the world. She has spent 2026 dismantling every ceiling that anyone placed above her. And she is not done. That is who is in Cincinnati right now. That is who walks into the third round of a WTA 1000 this weekend. Not a prospect, not a name to watch, a champion. The kind of player that Amanda Anisimova, world number 10, 9th seed, former top 5, looked at on the draw sheet this week and described like this: "I haven't played her before. She's been having such an incredible season, incredible year. Very great player with a lot of fans." So, I'm really looking forward to that. I know that it's probably going to be a very packed stadium. I'm sure it'll be really fun. Very packed stadium. Very fun. Said by a top 10 American playing on home soil in Ohio about a 21-year-old from the Philippines she has never once faced in her career. That sentence tells you everything you need to know about where Alex Eala stands in this sport right now. Let's talk about what happened with Ruse first, because it deserves to be properly noted. When the rain came down on Saturday and stopped the match at 6-1 3-love, Eala had already won the rematch before it was even official. Their previous meeting was the 2024 US Open qualifying final. Ruse came back from a set down to beat Eala 3-6, 6-1, 6-3. That result kept Eala out of the 2024 US Open main draw entirely. Fast forward 2 years. Eala walks onto the same hard court surface, now world number 18, seeded 17th in a WTA 1000, and does not give Ruse a path back into the match at any point. 6-1 in the first set. 3 games into the second, with 2 breaks of serve, Ruse's foot gave out and she chose not to continue. The scoreline does not even fully communicate how complete this was. Now, Anisimova, world number 10, 9th seed, home crowd in Ohio, having beaten Zeynep Sonmez 6-2, 6-3 in the previous round. She is one of the most dangerous ball strikers in the women's game. A first-strike player who looks to end points in 2 or 3 shots, who hits through the court rather than over it, and who is known for hitting winners from positions most players would consider defensive. Against Eala's style of play, left-handed, topspin heavy, patient in long rallies, looking to disrupt timing and rhythm, this should be one of the more tactically fascinating matches of the Cincinnati draw. Anisimova said she anticipates a very packed stadium with a crowd heavily leaning toward Eala. She added that she intends to thrive off the energy, which is the right answer but also the honest one, because that crowd is going to be loud from the first point, regardless of how the match goes. It is the atmosphere that has followed Eala across every tournament since Washington. Filipino flags, Filipino fans, a presence that has made WTA directors, tournament chairmen, and seeded opponents all take notice in ways that had nothing to do with tennis. But crowd energy does not win matches against a player like Anisimova. She is 23 years old. She reached the US Open final 3 years ago and has been a consistent top 15 presence ever since. She does not rattle. She does not overthink. She picks a target, she swings, and she trusts her ball striking to do the work. The challenge for Eala is that Anisimova's first strike game specifically attacks the window before a rally becomes a rally. She wants the point over in 2 or 3 shots, which removes the exchanges where Eala's topspin and lefty angles create the most disruption. Eala will need her serve to land with enough quality and variety that Anisimova cannot step in early. And if the serve does what the analysts warned, if it sits up even slightly, Anisimova is exactly the kind of player who turns a mediocre serve into an instant winner. This is what makes the matchup so genuinely unpredictable. Eala has already beaten players with more power than Anisimova this season. She beat Osaka 6-4, 6-2. She beat Pegula 6-0 in the third set. But both of those players rely more on baseline durability than Anisimova's flat, early ball. The shot selection, the court position, the margin on first serve, all of it will be tested in a different way on Sunday than it has been in any match this year. But here is the thing that needs to be said clearly before the Anisimova match gets all the attention. There is a legitimate concern building around Alex Eala's schedule right now. And Tennis 365 put it plainly this week, the scheduling decisions she has made for the stretch run could actually hinder her US Open chances. Think about the workload. She won Washington at the start of August, after a tournament that went the maximum number of rounds. She played Toronto immediately after. She is now deep into Cincinnati, already 3 rounds in as the 17th seed, against a field that includes Anisimova on Sunday, potentially Linda Noskova in the round of 16, a possible Pegula quarterfinal rematch, and Swiatek or Rybakina in the semifinals. If she goes far here, and the way she is playing, that is not a small if, she will arrive in New York having played close to 8 consecutive weeks of match-level, professional competitive tennis without a meaningful break. That is not a schedule, that is a gauntlet. And the toll it takes is not always visible until it matters most. And then at the US Open, it does not get lighter. She is scheduled to play mixed doubles alongside Felix Auger-Aliassime. She is also confirmed for an exhibition called Stars of the Open against Iva Jovic. Singles draw, doubles, exhibition, all on top of 8 weeks of hardcourt tournament tennis. This is the part of a breakthrough season that can quietly become its undoing. Great seasons end in one of 2 ways. A player peaks at exactly the right moment and delivers something historic, or the accumulated fatigue of a career. Best run catches up with them at the worst possible time. Eala's team will know this. Her body will start giving her signals about this. The question is not whether she is good enough to go deep in New York. She has already proven beyond any reasonable doubt that she belongs there as a genuine contender. The question is whether her body will be as ready as her game. She said before Cincinnati that she is counting her blessings and taking the lessons from Washington and Toronto into the final stretch. That suggests the right mindset. But mindset and physical freshness are 2 different things, and the schedule she is carrying into Flushing Meadows is the heaviest of any player in her tier. None of this changes what is in front of her tomorrow. Anisimova, first career meeting, packed stadium, world number 10, a player who has been inside the top 10 for the past 2 years and who beats people before they settle into the match. A style matchup that gives no guarantee to either player, and that will come down to who controls the baseline exchanges in the first 6 games. Because if Anisimova gets early momentum here, the crowd alone will not be enough to pull it back. World number 18, 3 rounds deep in a WTA 1000. 8 weeks into a season that has already produced the most significant results in Philippine tennis history. And on Sunday, a match against a former top 10 mainstay who has never once faced her before, but already knows enough to call it fun. This is the test that comes after the breakthrough. Every champion faces it. The draw gets harder when people start preparing for you. The schedule gets heavier when tournaments want you. The expectations get louder when the whole country is watching. There are no free rounds anymore, no matches where the other player is not fully ready.